Is ready to chit chat. I was gonna go live and talk about credit, but I think I'm gonna talk about that in another one. So let's get into this juice, this drama, this tea, relationship shit 101. Okay. What can we talk about today? Because like single. Am I really single? I don't even know what I am because I'm tied in on some stuff. Like I'm locked in on a couple of situations. Like it's so odd. Anyway, but we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. Let me see if she get on here. I'm waiting for my best friend Tamika to hop in my live. Anyway, so until then, I'll talk about me. Again, if you're not familiar, my name is Christina, also named as Krissy, also known as Spinelli, also known as DIY_Krissy on Instagram as well as Facebook. Please feel free to follow all of my social medias. Also, I don't own the rights to any music you might hear in there in this live, but I like to talk about relationships and things like that. Some of my dating experiences and some of my experiences in life in general. Is that you, Tamika? I cannot see the viewership. I think you might be on there. I'm not for sure or not. But like me and my friends are extremely open with each other. We're very blunt. We're very honest. We talk about everything and anything with each other. My best friend Tamika, she is basically, we all consider her like a sex expert. Like, just to be blunt, like she is one of the rare people where any and everyone feels so comfortable with talking about sex, life, and things in general. With it is truly her gift, and I'm really, really happy that she is finally taking advantage of the fact that she has that gift and speaking a little bit more in regards to getting people comfortable with talking about their sexuality, talking about their relationships, talking about their toxic traits, their faults, things like that. With me, I have been single probably for like the past 3 months, and it is the first time like in years like I have ever been single. But with coming with that, it has kind of elevated me to the point of where I had to take responsibility for my actions in some of my relationships and situationships. The fact is, like, those people were assholes, but those were people that I allowed into my life. So I had to take that responsibility to a certain extent. I think a lot of people don't take responsibility for their role in allowing people to either hurt them or bring negativity onto them or their actions within a relationship. Me, I take full responsibility for my actions. I take full responsibility for picking a dud, a bum, whatever they may be, a good guy that it just didn't work, a bad guy where it just didn't work, or whatever the situation might be. I take full responsibility for my role in those, and I don't think a lot of people have the ability to do that. Hey, yes, here. Hold on. Send an invite. Why you can't bring it on? It won't let me bring you on, Tamika. Oh, you gotta re-download the Facebook app. It won't let me bring you on because it's saying that you need to re-download the latest version of the Facebook app. I know. So, like, either go to your settings and hit update, or what I would say is delete the app and then download it, and then it'll let me add you on there, because you need to get into this conversation. I know, kidding. I know. Rolling my eyes as well. But, yeah, when it comes to relationships with me, over the past couple of months, over the past couple of years since I've been out of a long-term relationship, I learned how to take responsibility for my own toxic traits. Like, I have damage and habits from my previous relationship, from my childhood, from schooling, from friendships, from life in general, that I was bringing into my situationships and my relationships. And a lot of people don't take the time out to kind of check their own self. Me? No, 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 no. I definitely check myself about a lot of the shit that I do. Like with me, I do have abandonment issues, so I tend to push people away just to see if they're going to come back. And that in itself caused a lot of friction and tension in one of my relationships. I also have a lot of masculine energy because of the fact that I had to be the responsible one since I was a kid. Like, out of all my mom kids, I love them all to death. I definitely was the more like straight and narrow kind of kid and stuff like that. And it comes with a lot of pressure that I put on my own self. Like, I didn't have to be the straight and narrow kid, but I chose to be that because I didn't want my parents to go through a lot of shit because they were going through a lot of shit already. And let's see, I think it's Lenny. But I had to deal with a lot of shit that I brought into my situation that I didn't ever acknowledge. Like, a lot of the shit that I was going through and a lot of shit that I was doing, I brought on myself. Hello, Kit and Caboodle.
Facebook and it's bullshit. How about that?
I know. They're like, she needs to download the latest app and then you could bring her on. I'm like, look, y'all doing too fucking much. Like, just bring my girl on, please, and thank you.
My light is terrible, but whatever.
You're so silly. You're still pretty. You're still pretty. Beautiful.
Thank
Hi,
you.
bro. Sky high. Hi, bro. See, that's somebody from my childhood that I grew up with and I have experiences with. We're not gonna speak on one of the experiences, the Snickers motherfucker. Yeah, I remember that shit. Y'all lit my ass up for weeks about it. Sky, I'm talking to my brother. He commented, but I still love you though, bro. And your family is beautiful, and I'm just glad that you're doing well. And I love you. And tell your dad I said hello. And thank you again for bringing those pictures to my house that one time. I truly, truly appreciate that. But no, I was talking about like people acknowledging their own toxic habits and traits in a relationship, and how the past 3 months of me being like completely single, we're not gonna call that last situation a relationship because I don't know what the fuck that ended up being. That was stupid. That was fun.
Let me tell you, I'm sorry, I'm showing y'all my room. Okay. So let me tell you, I am still trying to. Okay. Let me just say this. I am going to say I don't like using toxic.
The word toxic.
Yourself in a relationship, like the negative that you put in yourself, because the toxicity comes from trauma. But for the sake of this conversation, I am going to say I don't know what my toxic traits are, but. Right. I will say that I guess I will say something that I've heard across the board with all of my mates is that they feel like that I'm too nonchalant and I don't care, quote unquote, to them. They don't think that I care about a particular situation. But the thing that they don't realize is that once I feel like that I've been attacked, I am not going to buckle under your pressure. Like, I literally could cry myself to sleep while you sleeping right behind me. You don't know that I'm doing that, but when I wake up the next day, you gonna get this blank attitude because I'm in my head about so much shit. I'm replaying situations that we didn't have. I'm replaying over again. I'm replaying the whole thing because I'm trying to figure out where the fuck did I go wrong in the relationship portion of it. You know what I'm saying? Before I actually react. But you're gonna get some nonchalant shit because who the fuck are you?
And see, that's the whole thing. Like, with the last situation, he was like, with all my situations, they're as of late, they're like, you're so nonchalant, and it's like I'm not trying to be. It's like you're not seeing that I'm genuinely am being open with you and being trying to be vulnerable. But it's like, who the fuck expects somebody to be 100% open, like with every aspect of their secrecy, every aspect of what makes them right off the bat? And it's like, I don't know what the fuck it is, but as of late, it's like guys keep trying to pull that out of me, and it ends up making me defensive. It ends up making me self-doubt myself at times too. Like, bitch, is there something wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? And the thing is, it's not that. It's just like when you meet a person that makes you feel like you can be 100% yourself and 100% open, it just flows naturally. It just happens. And but when you feel as if someone is just like forcing you into some shit, it's kind of like, okay, defense mode. What's your angle? Like, what do
I
you
think,
want?
I think like I'm the opposite, because I come into the relationship and I'm gonna tell you everything about myself because I want you to tell me everything about you.
Yeah.
But I think with me doing that, me being vulnerable in that way, I have had so many people use my vulnerability against me.
Yes.
And it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
I thought we were in a safe space here to be vulnerable. And
Yes.
it's not, and it don't be the case. And so then
And it don't.
I get shit tossed back in my face about shit that ain't got nothing to do with shit. Like, it just be the fucking weirdest shit that I can deal with. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just really I don't like it. I mean, I've had this happen to me multiple times. So now that it forces me to rethink, like, why am I so open with these people? But the reason why
Exactly.
I am open is because I don't want nobody to not be open with me. So then
Exactly.
I put myself out there so that you can know that it's okay to be vulnerable with me. It's okay to be
Yeah.
open with me. I'm a safe person.
Yeah.
But I don't get that in return. I don't get that as a, I just don't get the shit in return, and it bothers.
No. And it bothers me too, because like even with Carrie, that was and I don't even know if he gonna see this, but let me just say, with Carrie, that was a running thing with him. And in regards to me, he's like, I want you to be vulnerable and stuff like that. And it's like, I was, to me, but it wasn't the type of vulnerability that he was specifically looking for. And we both made the mistake of kind of not knowing learning the way that each of us communicate, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
until after the fact, until after we became just friends again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like, you like elaborated answers. And I'm like, yes, because if you're just giving me a yes or no answer and it's just like, it's something that really needs detail, I'm just going to look at you like you stupid. Like, okay, so what else? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, more so like, right to the point, full details in a short span of communication. And neither one of us learned that. I think her signal went away. But back to that conversation in regards to like being vulnerable with people, I have definitely struggled with that, like, for sure, because I have been damaged by my long-term relationship. I was damaged by my relationships afterwards, and even like things from my childhood and growing up in life in general that I didn't deal with until as of late. And hold on, I think that's her, that I didn't deal with until as of late. And a lot of that, I see you, I got you. I was just saying that, like, with Carrie, he was just basically like, our lack of being able to learn how to communicate with each other, with him being like alpha and me being like alpha and stuff like that, it caused a lot of the head butting and things like that. But what I was saying too is in regards to being vulnerable, I, based on the shit that I had went through with my long-term relationship and based on the things that I went through afterwards, you know what happened with Voldemort. That fucked me up. Like 100%. Like, even when he tried to he reached out to my sister a couple months ago, because I haven't blocked him on everything. Like, I'm trying to get in touch with Krissy. Could you please tell her to call me and things like that. Like, I ended up messaging him on a app or whatever, just basically telling him like, go to hell, leave me alone, because I was like, you really truly don't understand how you lying about all of that like shifted my personality completely. And I still have not gotten back to being that sweet, not naive, but naive girl. Like,
But you
I'm
won't.
still
You
not the
won't. You're
same.
not gonna be that. You're not
And
gonna
I'm
be
not
that
gonna,
person
I
anymore.
don't think I'm gonna be that, but I'm gonna be a version of
Mm-hmm.
myself, but I cannot be what I was back then. Like, that shit fucked me up. Like, I told him, he like, I completely apologize. I'm like, no, the apology is not good enough. I just cannot be in your life. I cannot be in your life. That's
Yeah,
the ramifications of that. And that's what hurts him, is the fact that I'm not in his life in any shape, way, or form.
and I think, like we was talking about earlier when I was telling you about that one situation, but
Yeah.
I I was way more forgiving a year ago. A year last
Yeah.
year this time, so
Listen.
understanding.
Listen.
I have been through too much over the last 365 days
Yeah.
for me to be that forgiving. And the
Yeah.
fact of the matter is that I'm still forgiving. So,
Yeah.
excuse
But
me.
you're not the same.
I'm
You're not
still
the same.
forgiving, but I'm not as forgiving. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get, like, maybe last year you could get 10 chances from me. Like, this year
No.
you got 2. That's
You
it.
this year you really got one. You really got one. If we're gonna be real, you really
Yes,
got
you
one,
really got
because
one.
you
So,
really got one.
when I was
And I think
doing
that's both
dinner,
of us. Just full disclosure, when me and you weren't talking for like 2 months, it was like we both were going through some heavy, heavy shit. Like, heavy shit. Heavy shit. My mom almost died. Fucking job was stressing me out. Like, the shit with past shit with Chris was popping in and popping out. Shadow work. We both had situations where shit was just awry, and then I was in a toxic situation with a toxic person, and it's like we was just going through some heavy shit. And having come out of that, I don't even think people got like one chance. Like, it's at the point where it's like we both are kind of like, yeah, we not playing no games. Like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, I can't.
what I realized is that a lot of people are ultimately selfish.
Very.
And you have the right to be. Don't get me wrong. We are all our own individuals, so you do have the right to be selfish, but I think that people are selfish for, I don't even know. I don't
The
want to say the
stupidest fucking
wrong,
reasons. Like,
like
people be
I don't want
like
to say
with
the
us, people
wrong
be,
reason, but
yeah,
it's always some other shit in play. Like, nobody is
yeah,
really genuinely coming into a situation just 100% genuine. It's always
yeah,
like some
extra
extracurricular
shit.
underlying issues or shit that
Yeah.
you're trying to
And
do
like with
that
us,
you don't know about.
people like with us, people be so shady with shit that if you keep it 100 with us, we cool with that shit. Like, if you're like, the thing is, we so different, like, compared to a lot of people. I don't think people really completely understand it. I can handle the hard earned truth. I can handle the truth. I can handle that shit 1,000 times better than I can handle a lie. Like, if you like, this is what I'm into, are you capable of that? Or this is who I am as a person, are you capable of dealing with that? I'll tell you yes or no. But if you're bullshitting me, making it seem as if you're one person, and then the next moment I realize you a whole piece of shit, like, I just have absolutely no motherfucking respect for you, because you a whole lame ass person. You a lame. You corny. You're not even yourself. You don't even know you. So
So
what the
my
fuck do
whole
I want to
marriage, you already know my whole marriage was
a facade? My
okay.
whole 8-year
I don't,
relationship was
and
a
I don't,
facade.
and I don't know if my marriage was a facade just on the simple fact that I was naive and I just didn't really understand what that
Yeah,
individual was asking me, and
yeah,
I kind of feel like that was part of it
mhm.
because, like, when I think back about conversations that we had, it correlates to what I found out 10 years later.
Exactly.
But
Listen,
because we had
same.
these conversations and you know how that person talk.
Yeah, and
But
it's like you have to
I
decipher
didn't
eight
look
things.
at it. I didn't look at it from that perspective because I understood it to be something different. This is why when I talk to new people, they, like, just recently, the most recent person that I just met or whatever, he said something to me and he was like, this is what he said. I said, what do you like to do in your spare time? He said, I like to do wild shit. So I said, what the fuck is wild shit? He was
Right,
like, you know what wild shit is? I said, I don't know what wild shit is because it could be 5 different motherfucking things. How
right.
do I
So
know
what?
what wild shit is? Like, what's your
Right.
definition of wild shit could be different from my definition of wild shit. So I'm like, I'm a person, you have to actually tell me what the fuck you're talking about, because I don't like guessing shit. You could say, oh, I like to do wild shit, and that could fucking mean, hey, you like to motherfucking ride horses on the weekend. Like, or that could mean you might be into cocaine. I don't fucking know. What the fuck is
That
wild
part.
shit?
That part. That part. And it's like, just be honest about it. The one thing I will say with one of my past relationships is that, like, it was crazy. You know, it got crazy, like to the point of like violence and shit like that. But one of the things that I did learn from it is that I'm now capable of seeing red flags right off rip. Like, you're a person that you're want to latch on to me because you see I have like areas where it's like I need comfort and I need that affection and I need that. And I see with you, it's where you've been damaged too, and we connected on a trauma bond. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say his name because I think he watches my shit. But it's like, I don't want to do that shit no more. Like, I don't want a trauma bond to build off of. I don't want that shit. Like, I don't want our pain to be the way that we connect. Like, no, no, no. And I noticed with a lot of the people I dated, it has been that. It's, to some extent, it has been a trauma that has brought us together.
Because this is why, and I was explaining this to my daughter's grandma the other day, like we was on the phone talking. I call it the puppy dog syndrome.
You say that to me all the time with me.
And it's like, oh, look at the little puppy dog. Oh, you have a little puppy dog. Oh, come here, little puppy dog. I can take care of you. That's what the fuck that is, the puppy dog syndrome. And that's why we attract these people, because we empathize with whatever trauma that they're going through, because we've had similar trauma, or we're trying to fix the trauma because we hope that somebody will fix us, shit like that. So we have these bonds with people, but it's not, it causes more trauma. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It
does.
And then what ends up happening is one person out of that situation is actually trying to heal. And then this is what we do. We trying to show you, like, look, I've been through it too. I'm healed.
Yes.
I'm healed. I'm healing.
And that's exactly what
Why don't you do the same? And it don't work like that, because we can't.
Exactly. That is what you said is exactly what happened with it was me trying to heal and him trying to prove to me that, like, he can help me heal and I can help him heal. And it was just like, it wasn't fair to either one of us. Like, even though all the bullshit I went through with him was really, really crazy, I genuinely did know if I needed him, he was there. You know what I'm saying? So that aspect of our relationship is what kept me going back and forth. Everybody kept asking, like, why you dating him? Why you dating him? And people was probably telling him the same shit too, especially motherfuckers at work. Like, why, like, y'all argue too much, y'all toxic, da 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 da. But like, the fact that I felt like I had somebody that was there for me when I knew I need him is the part that kept us together. And I think that's also what kept me, and we got to think of another name for that nigga. The 8 years, what kept us together. That, and the fact that neither one of us cheated on each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we seeing everybody going through shit, everybody getting cheated on, people having babies with other people, and we both was never on that kind of tip. So we connected in that way. We also connected on the fact that we both were the responsible one in our family. But the downfall to that is that, the downfall to that is that, you know, I was taken advantage of because of that. Like, he said it. I don't give a fuck what he said. He said, like, I wanted our relationship was a break for me.
Oh,
what the fuck is that for me?
That's what I found out about mine.
Yeah, and that's what I got. Like, it was like I grew up in, like, you know, from age like 12 or from age like 11, 10, whatever age he said, up until like 18. I was the one paying all the bills in the house and shit like that. And it's like, okay, but like, what about me? I went through shit too, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went through hell too. Like, I went through other variations of stress within my family. So you just said, let me hatch on to her because I see she got a good heart and she worked her ass off, and let me, like, you know, just see what I can do. And it's like, That's why I can never interact with him ever in my life.
Now,
Ever.
let me tell you this, and I don't. This is something that I don't say often, or not too many people know. But in my marriage, I also attached, even though that individual was attached to me for their own reasons, whatever they may be. But they were unbeknownst to me. I attached
Right.
myself to that individual because I battle anxiety,
Yeah.
and they were my anxiety. They helped me through my anxiety
Me too.
when it was going, like when I knew that the relationship was going downhill. I
Yeah.
had to physically and mentally teach myself how to live with my anxiety on my own. Because
Exactly. And
if
it's
this
scary.
individual is not here, and hell yeah, that shit was scary.
It's
Like,
scary as fuck.
but I had to figure it out because it
You
went from
can't go back to that bullshit,
right.
basically.
But the mentality went from I'm gonna always be with this person to what if I'm not always with this person?
That's exactly what happens. Like when you're with someone for so long, and for me, I was with Chris pretty much all of my 20s and stuff like that. And like he was with me pretty much all his 20s and stuff like that. Like it was a huge adjustment not having that. And like for me, he was there. He saw how my family treated me. He saw like what I went through. He was literally the one that was there with me when we first got my mom diagnosis. He saw everything, and then on top of it, he saw me at my weakest when I would have my anxiety attacks, and I would just break out in tears for like 5 minutes and then be okay. And he was my comfort, like, you know what I'm saying? So not having that and how learning how to deal with that on my own is the scariest shit I have ever done, but I did it and you did it, because
Yeah,
it's like I
because
can't go back to that bullshit.
one of the things that helps through the anxiety is having someone who, because I know you've had this before too, but having an anxiety attack and you're with someone or around someone who look at you and don't understand what the fuck is happening.
Yes.
So now you feel that
Insecure.
being judged and
Yeah.
insecure. So having someone that's there that don't flinch when you freak out, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
When you yourself don't really even know what the fuck is going on for real, you already feel crazy, and that person is comforting you. You do attach yourself traumally with that person
Yeah.
because who else is gonna help you through this shit? This is I don't know. That was kind of my mentality, but
It, yeah, it was mine as well. And they lost her. But no, in regards to anxiety, like dealing with that shit and dealing with it in a toxic relationship is extremely hard. So anybody that's doing that and dealing with that, like kudos to you. Or anyone that is leaving a relationship and now dealing with their issues or the things that their mate used to help them out with, like you could do it. You could do it. Don't go back to a situation just because it's comfortable, it's what you dealt with, or it's what you know. Like and when overall you know it is not right for you. Like I did that. Everybody has done that. Don't beat yourself up about it, but learn from it, move on, and just keep it pushing, because people will exploit your weaknesses. People will exploit your good heart. People will exploit the fact that you do love them. People will exploit the fact that you're comfortable with them or comfortable with the routine of being with them. People will do that. And it's not right and it's not okay, but it does happen. So my advice to you, anybody going through that or dealing with that, let that shit go. Figure out a different way of dealing with your problems, your issues, or whatever it may be. But do not go back into a situation just because you have been there, just because y'all have years in, just because y'all have some type of connection. Not even years in, but just because y'all have some type of connection, or because you know, just want that comfort. Don't do that. I did it. It's dangerous. Don't do that. Um, I will also say that, like, with me, like, being single the past couple of months, like I said, it's the first time I have been single in years. Like, I have never been single in my adult life. I have always been in a relationship. I have always been, like, in something. And this time I took the time out to just be like, I can't do this shit no more. Like, it's too much. Like, it's too much. It's too much. Um, and I had to figure out, where the fuck am I going wrong with the situation? Like, these people not just coming to me just because, you know, they like me or attracted to me or something like that. There's something within myself that is gravitating these type of people towards me. And I had to figure out what it was. And what it was is, I wasn't dealing with a lot of the trauma that I went through in my past relationship. I wasn't dealing with a lot of the trauma that I went through in my childhood. I wasn't even dealing with a lot of the trauma that I went through in my adulthood, because this past 2.5 years, my whole life was flipped upside down. Like, I completely had to restart from being completely flat broke, ending a long-term relationship, finding out I was getting cheated on, like, while I'm in Atlanta and he's up here, finding out, like, just so much shit. I'm not gonna get all into that, but just finding out so much shit, and it was painful. Like, it was painful, and it was a learning experience, and it was a lot going on. Let me see if it'll let me request you. Hold on. Okay, see if it'll let you. Let me ask you. Okay, try now. I sent an invite, but just going through a lot of shit that I have been through, and just really learning that it's okay to be alone, and it's okay to be single, just to kind of get yourself together and get you ready for the person that you're really supposed to be with. I did not do that for the longest time. I always ended up in relationships, and I always ended up with just people that were not meant for me, and I was not meant for them. I'll just leave it at that. Like, I'm not gonna bash anybody or bash myself. You know what I'm saying? We all had a role in my situationships and things like that. But some people did come into, you know, knowing me with their own intentions, and my intentions was pure. I'll say that. Yes. But shit happens for a reason. Like, it keeps saying it's adding you, Tamika, so I don't know what's going on. But we'll see. Let me see. I'm gonna give it a little bit while to see if it'll add you again. Not answering live invite guests. Hold on. Let me try it one more time. Okay. Let me actually end this live, and then I'm gonna come back and see if it'll let me do it that way. So everybody that tuned in, that might not tune into the next one, please do come back. Follow me at DIY_Krissy on Instagram, and Tamika at Arouse Boutique. But we're coming right back. That is the end for this video. I'll upload more videos today. So like, subscribe, share, and comment. Follow me on Instagram at DIY_Krissy, and hit me up. Bye.